Number 1. This 1972 Chevrolet Elcamino, offered at $15,000 and located in Goshen, Ohio, is presented as a very solid and well-sorted classic that blends muscle car character with a unique utility that makes the Elcamino so appealing. The seller emphasizes that this is a strong, honest car rather than a rough project, describing it as very solid overall with only limited rust in known and manageable areas. Rust is noted at the bottom of both front fenders and along the lower sections of the rear quarter panels, but importantly, the seller already has the correct repair panels for these spots, significantly reducing the effort and expense needed to address them properly. The overall tone of the listing suggests a car that has been cared for and thoughtfully upgraded, rather than neglected, making it an attractive option for someone who wants a classic that can be enjoyed now and improved further over time. Under the hood, this Elcamino is powered by a mildly built 350 cubic inch V8 paired with a turbo 350 automatic transmission, a proven and reliable drivetrain combination that offers both strong performance and easy serviceability. The engine is described as having a nice-sounding exhaust, adding to the car's muscle-era presence without suggesting anything extreme or impractical for street use. Supporting the drivetrain, the car features Hotchkiss rear trailing arms, a desirable suspension upgrade that improves rear-end stability and handling compared to factory components. These mechanical enhancements indicate that the car was built with driving enjoyment in mind, not just appearance, and they add real value for an enthusiast who wants a classic that feels confident and composed on the road. The exterior presents as a solid driver quality example, riding on nice jegs wheels that give it a clean, aggressive stance appropriate for a V8-powered Elcamino. While rust is acknowledged in specific lower areas, the fact that it is localized and already planned for with repair panels suggests the rest of the body structure remains sound. This transparency helps frame the car as an honest classic rather than one hiding issues beneath fresh paint. The overall condition supports the seller's claim that this is a very good car, suitable for continued enjoyment as is or as a candidate for cosmetic refinement once the next owner decides to take it further. Inside, the interior is described as being pretty nice, which is a meaningful advantage in a classic vehicle where interior restoration can quickly become costly and time-consuming. A clean and presentable interior allows the car to be enjoyed immediately and reflects a level of care beyond basic mechanical maintenance. Rather than seeking a cash-only transaction, the seller is primarily interested in a trade, specifically for a 1974 or older car with a back seat, highlighting a clear and focused trade preference. This makes the Elcamino an especially interesting opportunity for someone looking to move out of a two-door or sedan into a classic car-truck hybrid, offering solid mechanical upgrades, a good interior, manageable body needs, and strong overall presence as a well-rounded 1972 Chevrolet Elcamino. Number 2. This 1965 Dodge Coronet 500 Coupe, offered at $26,900 and located in New Alexandria, Pennsylvania, is presented as an estate-fresh example being offered publicly for the first time in nearly 20 years. Purchased by its previous owner in 2006 and kept until his recent passing, this Coronet is described as an exceptionally honest and well-preserved classic that appears to have been restored prior to his ownership. The seller notes that the car has remained largely untouched since, retaining its factory character rather than being modified or converted into a restomod. It is represented as a genuine Coronet 500 with matching factory documentation, and its overall presentation reflects long-term care and pride of ownership rather than quick cosmetic preparation for sale. Power comes from a 383 cubic inch Chrysler Big Block V8, confirmed by the correct block stamping, and fitted with an Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor that allows the engine to start easily and run strong. The car is described as running and driving exceptionally well, suggesting it is fully roadworthy and enjoyable as it sits. Original components such as the valve covers and air cleaner are included, reinforcing the car's authenticity and appeal to purists. While the tachometer in the center console is currently missing, the seller is actively searching for a correct replacement, and this detail is presented transparently rather than concealed. Overall, the drivetrain is portrayed as sorted and reliable, offering big block performance without sacrificing usability. Visually and structurally, this Coronet is described as an extra nice example, with no visible evidence of rust noted by the seller, a major advantage for a mid-1960s Mopar. It is a correct red and white coupe that matches the factory-installed fender tag, adding credibility and collector value. Born on March 28, 1965, this car retains its correct color combination and original configuration, including its big block engine, which makes it increasingly rare among surviving Coronet 500s. Underbody photos are expected to follow, but the confidence expressed regarding its condition suggests a solid structure consistent with the rest of the car's presentation. Inside, the Coronet features red bucket seats and a center console, along with power steering, combining sporty appearance with comfortable drivability. The interior configuration aligns with its Coronet 500 designation and supports the claim that this car has not been heavily altered over the years. Examples like this are becoming increasingly difficult to find, particularly those that have avoided extensive modification or modern reinterpretation. As a largely original, correctly documented big block 1965 Dodge Coronet 500 coupe with strong mechanical performance and clean overall condition, this car stands out as a desirable Mopar that appeals to collectors and drivers alike who value authenticity, history, and presence. Number 3. This 1956 Buick Roadmaster, offered at $5,000 and located in LaGrange, Ohio, is presented as a largely complete and very usable classic that retains the commanding presence and luxury character that defined Buick's flagship models of the mid-1950s. The seller describes the car as running and driving great, indicating that it has remained mechanically functional rather than being left as a dormant project. While it is not positioned as a fully sorted, turnkey vehicle, the overall description suggests an honest driver with strong fundamentals, making it an appealing candidate for someone seeking a full-size American classic that can be enjoyed and improved without starting from a total restoration. Mechanically, the primary issue noted is a bad radiator, which currently prevents the car from being driven, even though it can still be started. Importantly, a brand-new replacement radiator is included with the sale, and the seller simply notes a lack of time or desire to install it, rather than any complication with the repair itself. Once this straightforward fix is addressed, the Roadmaster is expected to return to driving condition. Aside from the radiator, no additional mechanical problems are highlighted, reinforcing the claim that the car otherwise runs well and has remained in functional condition rather than requiring extensive mechanical revival. From a functional and usability standpoint, the car is described as having nearly everything in working order. The only other needs mentioned are the glass for the passenger and driver's side door windows, yet even without the glass installed, the window mechanisms still roll up and down, indicating that the regulators and internal hardware are intact. This detail is significant, as it suggests the car has not been stripped or neglected internally. The fact that everything else is said to work points toward a level of completeness that is often missing in similarly priced classics, especially large luxury cars from this era. Overall, this Roadmaster represents a rare opportunity to acquire a mid-1950s Buick flagship at an accessible price point, with relatively minor and clearly defined needs. Its ability to start, its previously drivable condition, and the inclusion of a new radiator all position it as a practical entry into classic ownership rather than a long-term teardown project. Located in LaGrange, Ohio, and offered as a straightforward, honest sale, this 1956 Buick Roadmaster offers strong visual presence, functional completeness, and the potential to be returned to regular driving status with minimal effort, making it an attractive option for enthusiasts who appreciate classic American luxury and scale. Number 4. This 1964 Pontiac Tempest, offered at $4,900 and located in Matthews, North Carolina, is presented as an almost completely original example that remains in running and driving condition, making it a standout among early 1960s intermediate classics. The seller emphasizes that this car is not a stalled project but a vehicle that is ready to be driven wherever needed, supported by a clear title already in hand. Its overall presentation focuses on originality and usability rather than modification, positioning it as an honest survivor-style Tempest that still reflects its factory configuration and character. Under the hood, the Tempest retains its numbers-matching drivetrain, featuring the original Pontiac 215 inline six-cylinder engine paired with a 2-speed automatic transmission. This uncommon and historically interesting powertrain highlights the unique engineering approach Pontiac used during this period. The car is described as running and driving well, with only a small transmission leak noted, requiring the fluid to be topped off occasionally. Despite this minor issue, it is stated to drive fine, reinforcing that it remains a dependable cruiser rather than a vehicle in need of immediate mechanical intervention. To support its road-ready condition, the seller notes a comprehensive list of recent maintenance and replacement items. These include a new carburetor, new fuel lines and filter, a new battery and wiring, new spark plugs and wires, a new distributor, and a new air cleaner, along with fresh coolant and engine oil. This level of recent servicing suggests that the car has been actively maintained rather than simply kept running with minimal attention. These updates contribute to easier starting, smoother operation, and overall reliability, enhancing its appeal as a classic that can be enjoyed immediately. Overall, this Tempest represents a rare opportunity to own a largely original, numbers-matching 1964 Pontiac at an accessible price point. Its combination of originality, drivability, and recent mechanical refreshing makes it attractive to collectors who value authenticity as well as to enthusiasts seeking a simple, usable classic. Offered as a sale with the possibility of trade consideration for a Jeep Wrangler or Chevrolet C10 pickup, and located in Matthews, North Carolina, this Pontiac Tempest stands out as a clean, honest survivor with clear paperwork and strong everyday usability for a car of its era. Number 5. This 1966 Mercury Comet Capri, offered at $3,250 and located in Ronkonkoma, New York, is presented as a desirable and increasingly hard-to-find two-year-only model that shares its platform with the 1966 to 1967 Ford Fairlane. Marketed as the Mercury counterpart to those Fairlanes, the Comet Capri carries strong enthusiast appeal due to its limited production run and versatile chassis. The seller notes an indicated 84,567 original miles, adding to its survivor-style character, and positions the car as an honest, usable classic rather than a cosmetically restored showpiece. Overall, it is framed as a solid foundation with clear potential, offered at an accessible price point for a mid-1960s intermediate. Mechanically, this Comet is powered by a 200 cubic inch inline six-cylinder engine and is equipped with factory air conditioning, a relatively uncommon and desirable feature for a six-cylinder car of this era. Despite not being a V8 from the factory, it benefits from having all 5-lug V8 spec suspension components and an 8-inch rear axle, making it an excellent candidate for future performance upgrades. The engine was recently run off a gas can and is described as running exceptionally well, producing over 50 psi of oil pressure, starting instantly from the key, and showing no signs of smoking, with video evidence available. The seller does note that the braking system will need to be gone through, clearly identifying a necessary safety-related task for the next owner. From a body and structural standpoint, the car is acknowledged as being far from perfect, with rust present in the body panels and floor areas. Rather than hiding these issues, the seller presents them candidly, noting an original plan to patch the car minimally and use it as a driver or beater. This transparency positions the Comet as an ideal candidate for a ratty drag car, drift build, or a full restoration, depending on the buyer's vision and budget. Its honest condition and solid mechanical baseline make it flexible for multiple paths, from budget fun to a more comprehensive rebuild. Practically speaking, the car rolls and steers easily, simplifying transport and workshop maneuvering, and local delivery is available within Long Island. A transferable registration is included, easing the ownership transfer process. The seller is firm on a no-trades deal, with a stated willingness to let the car go for $3,000, reinforcing its value-oriented positioning. Located in Ronkonkoma, New York, this 1966 Mercury Comet Capri stands out as a rare, short production classic with good bones, strong running condition, and the kind of character that appeals to hands-on enthusiasts looking for something different from the usual muscle car crowd. Number 6. This 1979 Chrysler 300 Limited Anniversary, offered at $19,500 and located in Lake George, New York, is presented as an exceptionally preserved, museum-quality example that reflects an extraordinary level of originality and long-term care. Although the listing text references a Chrysler Cordoba due to marketplace category limitations, the car is positioned as a true 300 limited anniversary model, a distinction that places it at the top tier of Chrysler's late 1970s personal luxury lineup. The seller describes the car as absolutely mint inside and out, emphasizing that both the interior and exterior remain in outstanding condition with no excuses or caveats. According to the seller, this car has been stored for approximately 45 years and driven sparingly, averaging only 100 to 300 miles per year, a usage pattern that strongly supports its remarkable state of preservation and survivor-level presentation. Mechanically, the car is described as essentially flawless, with zero issues and no engine leaks, reinforcing the claim that it truly needs nothing to be enjoyed immediately. Power comes from the Chrysler 318 cubic inch V8, a durable and smooth-running engine well known for its longevity, especially when properly maintained and lightly used as this one has been. The original lean burn system is still present on the car, preserving its factory configuration, although it is no longer hooked up, with an HEI ignition system installed instead to improve reliability and drivability. A dual exhaust system has also been added, providing a subtle enhancement without compromising the car's original character. The seller states that the car drives like new, a strong claim that aligns with the extremely low annual mileage and long-term storage under controlled conditions. What truly sets this Chrysler apart is the level of originality and detail retention that is rarely seen, even among well-kept classics. The seller notes that factory stickers are still visible on the frame, and rubber protective covers remain on the grease fittings, details that strongly suggest the car has never been disassembled, heavily serviced, or exposed to harsh environments. The dark blue exterior is described as mint, complemented by a landau roof that reinforces the formal luxury image of the model. Inside, the leather seats are said to be in equally pristine condition, further supporting the claim that this car belongs more in a collection or museum than as a typical weekend cruiser. These are the kinds of details collectors look for when seeking an untouched reference quality example. Visually, the car is equipped with real wire-spoke rims, described as very expensive pieces that add to both the elegance and value of the car, and further distinguish it from ordinary examples. The seller makes it clear that this is a serious offering for a serious buyer, stressing that the car does not need to be sold and will simply remain in storage if the right buyer does not come along. Located in Lake George, New York, this 1979 Chrysler 300 Limited Anniversary represents an increasingly rare opportunity to acquire a late 1970s American luxury coupe in truly exceptional, time capsule condition, retaining its originality, presence, and character in a way that few surviving examples can match. Number 7. This 1969 Oldsmobile 98 convertible, offered at $12,000 and located in Lilburn, Georgia, is presented as a full-size American luxury convertible that combines imposing late 1960s styling with the smooth power Oldsmobile was known for during its peak years. The seller notes that the vehicle is being offered due to downsizing and is priced to sell, making it an attractive opportunity for someone looking to step into a classic convertible without the premium pricing often associated with large displacement luxury models. With a clean title and an honest description focused on drivability rather than show-only presentation, this Oldsmobile is positioned as a usable and enjoyable classic rather than a static display piece. Under the hood, the car is powered by the original 455 cubic inch rocket V8, paired with a turbo hydromatic automatic transmission, a drivetrain combination that delivers effortless torque and relaxed cruising characteristics. The seller states that the motor is original with approximately 29,000 miles, reinforcing its survivor-style appeal and suggesting limited wear relative to its age. It is described as running and driving, indicating that the car is functional and roadworthy rather than a dormant project. A new starter has recently been installed, addressing a common wear item and supporting the claim that the car has been maintained with practicality in mind to keep it operational and reliable. Cosmetically, the car benefits from a fresh repaint completed in March 2025, giving it renewed visual presence and helping it stand out as a clean, well-presented convertible. The black seating is described as beautiful, adding to the upscale interior feel that defined the Oldsmobile 98 line as a top-tier luxury offering. While the convertible top and some interior components are noted to be in fair condition rather than fully restored, This is presented transparently and aligns with the car's overall driver quality positioning. The balance between new cosmetic work and existing original or aged components suggests a car that can be enjoyed immediately while still offering room for future refinement. As a package, this 1969 Oldsmobile 98 convertible offers significant value, combining a big block V8, a full-size luxury platform, and open-top driving at a price point that remains accessible. The seller emphasizes a serious sale with no scams, reinforcing a straightforward transaction and openness to reasonable offers. Located in Lilburn, Georgia, this Oldsmobile represents a compelling option for enthusiasts seeking a comfortable, powerful, and visually striking classic convertible that runs and drives, carries clear paperwork, and delivers the unmistakable presence of a late 1960s American luxury cruiser. Number 8. This 1967 Ford Mustang Coupe, offered at $7,800 and located in Almont, Michigan, is presented clearly and honestly as a true project car that remains complete enough to run, drive, and stop, while still requiring additional work to become a reliable daily driver. The seller is upfront that this is not a finished or lightly refurbished example, but rather a classic Mustang that has already seen some structural repair work and still has rust that will need to be addressed. Patchwork has been performed on areas such as the floor and frame rails, indicating that attention has already been given to known problem spots, yet the car is not being misrepresented as rust-free. This transparency frames the Mustang as a realistic restoration or improvement project rather than an unrealistic turnkey offering. From a historical and mechanical standpoint, the car retains its original configuration in terms of drivetrain layout, having begun life as a candy apple red coupe with a black crinkle vinyl interior. It was originally equipped with a two-barrel 289 cubic inch V8, AC4 automatic transmission, and an open 8-inch rear end, and it remains a 289 automatic car today. The seller notes that the car was purchased in non-running and non-driving condition after sitting for some time, and that effort has already been invested to bring it back to a state where it now runs, drives, and stops. This progression adds value for a buyer who wants a functioning project rather than a completely dormant shell, while still allowing room for mechanical and cosmetic refinement. Structurally and cosmetically, the car is described as needing further work before it could be considered suitable for regular daily use. Rust remains present despite previous patch repairs, and this is presented as an expected part of owning and restoring a 1960s Mustang rather than a hidden flaw. The seller mentions having extensive notes and photographs documenting the work performed and the current condition, providing additional transparency and insight that many project listings lack. This documentation can be extremely valuable to the next owner, as it helps clarify what has already been addressed and what still needs attention, reducing guesswork and duplicated effort. Offered with a clean Michigan title, this Mustang is being sold because the current owner wants to focus time and resources on a 1965 or 1966 Mustang Coupe instead. The asking price reflects the reality of the car's condition, especially when compared to similarly priced non-running and incomplete examples in the market. The seller is open to trading only for a 1965 or 1966 Mustang and is not interested in other trades, reinforcing a focused and straightforward transaction. Located north of Almont, Michigan, this 1967 Mustang Coupe represents a usable, documented project with a running drivetrain, clear paperwork, and honest disclosure, making it a solid candidate for an enthusiast looking to build a classic Mustang at their own pace. Number 9. This 1963 Pontiac Tempest two-door, offered at $5,200 and located in Amelia, Ohio, is presented as a very rare early 1960s Pontiac that stands out due to its two-door body style and original V8 configuration. The seller emphasizes the rarity of this model, particularly as a factory 326 equipped car, which adds significant historical and enthusiast appeal compared to the more commonly seen six-cylinder Tempests of the period. Having reportedly sat for more than 20 years, this car is positioned as a true long-term storage project rather than a revived driver, making it especially interesting for collectors or restorers seeking an authentic foundation with strong originality potential. Mechanically, the car is not currently running and will require transport by trailer, which the seller states clearly and without ambiguity. Despite its long period of inactivity, the car is described as rolling well, a practical detail that simplifies loading and movement. Its extended storage period suggests that a full mechanical recommissioning should be expected, including attention to the fuel system, braking system, cooling components, and general drivetrain inspection. However, the fact that it remains complete and has not been dismantled or parted out over the years enhances its value as a restoration candidate rather than a collection of missing pieces. From a completeness and project standpoint, the Tempest is described as coming with extra parts, which can be a major advantage when restoring a rare and less commonly supported model. These additional components may help offset the challenge of sourcing correct parts for a 1963 Pontiac Tempest, especially one equipped with a 326 V8. The two-door body style further elevates its desirability, as these cars were produced in smaller numbers and are far less common than four-door variants. Even in its non-running state, the car presents as an intact and unmodified platform, allowing the next owner to restore it to stock or build it with period-correct enhancements. The seller is firm on the terms of the sale, stating that this is a cash-only transaction with no trades and no lowball offers considered. This straightforward approach reinforces the seriousness of the listing and the perceived value of the car as a rare project. Located in Amelia, Ohio, this 1963 Pontiac Tempest represents a compelling opportunity for an enthusiast willing to take on a dormant but complete classic, offering rarity, V8 heritage, and strong restoration potential in a market where early Tempest two-doors are becoming increasingly difficult to find. Number 10. This 1958 Edsel Ranger four-door sedan, offered at $15,000 and located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, is presented as a fully restored and road-ready example of one of the most distinctive and historically significant cars of the late 1950s. The seller describes the car as running and driving great, emphasizing that it is not just a cosmetic restoration but a mechanically sorted vehicle capable of regular use. With its unmistakable Edsel styling and four-door practicality, this Ranger stands out as a usable classic that blends period design with modern reliability upgrades, making it appealing to both collectors and drivers who want something different from the more common 1950s offerings. Powering this Edsel is the E400 specification 361 cubic inch V8 engine, which has been rebuilt and is paired with a Cruise-O-Matic automatic transmission that has also been completely gone through, with paperwork included to document the work performed. This level of mechanical refurbishment supports the claim that the car can be driven every day rather than reserved only for shows or occasional outings. The drivetrain has been further modernized with the addition of a Sniper electronic fuel injection system, a significant upgrade that improves cold starts, throttle response, and overall drivability while reducing many of the quirks associated with vintage carbureted setups. With approximately 90,000 miles showing, the car is positioned as a mature but well-maintained classic that has benefited from a comprehensive restoration rather than a superficial refresh. The combination of a rebuilt V8, refreshed transmission, and modern fuel injection suggests a focus on long-term reliability and ease of ownership. These updates make the Ranger especially suitable for enthusiasts who want to enjoy their classic regularly, including longer drives or daily use, without sacrificing the core character and sound of a late 1950s American V8 sedan. Overall, this 1958 Edsel Ranger offers a rare chance to own a restored and thoughtfully upgraded example of a model that remains an icon of automotive history. The seller's straightforward description and emphasis on drivability reinforce that this is a finished car rather than a work in progress. Located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and offered at a competitive price point, this Edsel represents a compelling blend of originality, restoration quality, and modern usability for anyone seeking a distinctive and conversation-starting classic that can truly be enjoyed on the road. Number 11. This 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle four-door, offered at $37,500 and located in Bristol, Tennessee, is presented as a comprehensively rebuilt and extensively refreshed classic that has clearly benefited from a ground-up approach rather than piecemeal upgrades. The seller emphasizes that nearly every major area of the car has been addressed, positioning it as a finished and highly sorted example rather than an ongoing project. From its fully renewed interior to its fresh sheet metal, paint, and mechanical systems, This Chevelle is represented as a turnkey classic built for both visual impact and confident road use. It is offered either for sale or trade, reflecting flexibility, but the overall presentation suggests a car that has already absorbed significant time, effort, and investment. Inside, the Chevelle features an entirely new interior from top to bottom, creating a clean and cohesive cabin that feels fresh throughout. New carpet has been installed, along with newly finished bucket seats, a new headliner, sail panels, and package tray, giving the interior a factory-correct yet restored appearance. The door panels have been refurbished with all-new chrome trim, adding a crisp and upscale look, while a Super Sport style console and shifter have also been installed new, enhancing both aesthetics and driver engagement. The level of interior detail suggests careful assembly rather than a quick refresh, making the cabin suitable for long drives, shows, or regular enjoyment without the compromises often found in older restorations. Structurally and cosmetically, the car has undergone major work that addresses the most critical and costly areas of a mid-1960s Chevelle. All floor pans and trunk pans have been replaced with new metal, eliminating common rust concerns and providing a solid foundation for long-term ownership. New sheet metal and fresh paint finished in modern base clear coat further elevate the car's presentation, while all exterior chrome has been replaced, not just polished, ensuring a consistent and high-quality exterior appearance. In addition, all seals throughout the car are new, supporting better weather resistance, reduced noise, and overall improved fit and finish compared to original, aged components. Mechanically, this Chevelle is equally well equipped, featuring a small-block Chevrolet fitted with a 383-stroker combination, topped by an Edelbrock aluminum intake and carburetor, a mild camshaft, and HEI ignition for reliable performance and easy starting. The engine uses steel cylinder heads and is supported by an aluminum radiator to help manage heat effectively. Power is routed through a refreshed turbo 400 automatic transmission to a strong 10-bolt 8.5-inch rear end with 3.42 gearing, offering a balance of acceleration and cruising capability. The braking system has been completely renewed with brand-new power disc brakes, including booster, lines, master cylinder, and related components, while a new wiring harness runs from bumper to bumper, eliminating electrical guesswork. New wheels and tires complete the package, and with additional details such as a new fuel tank and countless smaller updates, this 1966 Chevelle stands as a thoroughly rebuilt, performance-minded classic ready to be driven, shown, or traded for other desirable muscle cars or vintage trucks. Number 12. This 1949 Nash Ambassador, offered at $12,500 and located in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, is presented as a well-cared-for, driver-quality post-war American classic that stands out both on the road and at local shows. The seller emphasizes that this car has been enjoyed as it was meant to be, not hidden away or treated as a fragile display piece, and that philosophy is reflected in its overall condition and presentation. Rather than being over-restored or heavily modified, the Ambassador retains a strong period-correct character that highlights Nash's distinctive late 1940s styling, making it an appealing choice for enthusiasts who appreciate originality blended with usability. It is positioned as a dependable and attractive classic that draws attention without requiring constant attention or excuses. Mechanically, the car is described as running and driving well, an important distinction that separates it from many pre-1950 vehicles that are offered strictly as projects. It is equipped with a traditional 3-speed manual transmission with column shift, commonly referred to as 3 on the tree, which delivers an authentic driving experience consistent with the era. This setup reinforces the car's historical integrity and provides a direct, engaging connection to post-war American motoring. The drivability claim suggests that the car is sorted enough to be driven regularly, whether for weekend outings, cruise nights, or short trips, rather than being limited to trailer duty or static display. One of the most practical and owner-friendly upgrades is the conversion to a 12-volt electrical system, a modification that significantly improves reliability and ease of ownership while remaining largely invisible. This conversion allows for easier starting, brighter lighting, and better compatibility with modern electrical components, addressing one of the most common challenges of owning a late 1940s vehicle. Importantly, this upgrade does not detract from the car's vintage character, but instead enhances its functionality, making it far more enjoyable to use in modern driving conditions without constant electrical concerns. Overall, this Nash Ambassador is described as a standout example that presents beautifully and performs well as a driver, rather than a car that requires ongoing restoration or mechanical sorting. Its ability to do well at local shows speaks to its visual appeal and condition, while its continued enjoyment by the current owner reinforces its reliability and usability. Located in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, this 1949 Nash Ambassador represents a distinctive and increasingly uncommon opportunity to own a thoughtfully maintained post-war sedan that balances originality, charm, and real-world drivability in a way that few cars of this era still manage to achieve. Number 13. This 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door hardtop, offered at $30,000 and located in York, Pennsylvania, is presented as a very nice and well-sorted example of one of Chevrolet's most iconic body styles from the 1950s. Although often associated with the Impala name in casual conversation, the seller clearly describes the car as a Bel Air 4-door hardtop, a configuration that delivers the unmistakable pillarless profile and classic Tri-5 styling that continues to define the era. The overall tone of the listing positions the car as a strong driver rather than a neglected project, emphasizing its visual appeal, solid road manners, and overall completeness. It is framed as a must-see vehicle, suggesting that its condition and presence are better appreciated in person than through photos alone. Under the hood, the car is powered by a 350 cubic inch Chevrolet V8 fitted with 283-cylinder heads, a common and proven combination that balances performance, reliability, and ease of service. This setup is well suited for cruising and general enjoyment, offering more modern drivability than the original powerplant while retaining a traditional small-block Chevrolet character. The seller states that the car runs and drives great, reinforcing that it is not merely a cosmetic build but a vehicle meant to be driven and enjoyed. While it retains manual steering, this is presented as part of the authentic driving feel, and the seller notes that it still delivers a smooth ride, consistent with the long wheelbase and suspension tuning of Chevrolet's full-size cars from this period. From a mechanical and safety standpoint, the car has been upgraded with front disc brakes, a meaningful improvement over the original drum setup and a major benefit for modern traffic conditions. The listing mentions that the car has all new parts, along with new rims and tires, suggesting a recent round of updates aimed at reliability, road safety, and overall presentation. These improvements help position the car as a turnkey classic rather than one that immediately requires sorting or deferred maintenance. The combination of mechanical upgrades and fresh components supports the claim that this Bel Air is ready to be driven regularly, whether for weekend cruises, shows, or longer trips. As a whole, this 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door hardtop represents a desirable blend of classic styling and practical upgrades, offered with flexibility in mind. The seller indicates a willingness to negotiate on price and also expresses interest in a potential trade involving a mobile home, highlighting openness to alternative deal structures beyond a straightforward cash sale. Located in York, Pennsylvania, this Tri-5 Chevrolet stands out as a clean, strong-running example with modernized mechanicals, a smooth driving character, and the timeless appeal that continues to make 1957 Chevrolets some of the most recognizable and sought-after American classics ever produced. Number 14. This 1973 International Scout II Standard, offered at $8,400 and located in Burnville, Pennsylvania, is presented as a highly original, estate-sourced example with an unusually well-documented ownership history. The seller states that this Scout was single-family owned from new, primarily driven to and from a camp before being stored in a barn for approximately 25 years. With an indicated mileage of around 18,500 miles, it represents a low-mileage survivor by Scout II standards, especially considering how many of these vehicles were used hard as work trucks or off-road rigs. The overall description positions this Scout as an honest, unmolested starting point that has not been heavily modified, parted out, or repeatedly resold, giving it a level of authenticity that is becoming increasingly difficult to find. Mechanically, the Scout is equipped with the original 304 cubic inch International V8 paired with a 3-speed manual transmission, a classic and durable drivetrain combination for early Scout II models. The engine is reported to turn over, but the vehicle is currently in non-running condition and is being sold as received from the estate. The seller is clear that it will require a complete mechanical going over before returning to the road, including attention to the braking system and other systems affected by long-term storage. This transparency sets realistic expectations and frames the Scout as a proper recommissioning project rather than a quick-start driver, while still offering reassurance that the core drivetrain remains intact. From a body and structural standpoint, the Scout is described as having had prior body repairs and does have rust present, which is typical for international vehicles of this era. However, the seller notes that it is still a lot better than most, an important distinction in the Scout market where severe corrosion is common and often terminal. The implication is that while rust repair will be part of the restoration process, the truck has not deteriorated to the point of being a parts-only candidate. Adding further value, the sale includes an extra windshield cowl assembly and rear bumpers, components that can be difficult and expensive to source and that directly address known rust-prone areas on Scout 2s. Overall, this Scout 2 standard represents a strong candidate for restoration or preservation-focused revival, combining originality, low mileage, long-term single-family ownership, and included spare parts. It is offered with a clear Pennsylvania title and is being sold as is, with delivery possible, reinforcing the straightforward nature of the transaction. Located in Burnville, Pennsylvania, this 1973 International Scout 2 stands out as an increasingly rare opportunity to acquire an honest, estate-held example that has avoided heavy modification, making it especially appealing to enthusiasts who value originality and are willing to invest the time to properly bring a classic Scout back to life. Number 15. This 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air, offered at $45,000 and located in Avila, Indiana, is presented as a very nice and well-sorted example of one of the most iconic American cars ever produced. Finished in the classic and highly desirable red and white color combination, this Bel Air immediately captures the unmistakable Tri-5 Chevrolet presence that continues to define 1950s automotive style. The seller describes the car as a standout everywhere it goes, noting the constant positive attention and thumbs up it receives on the road, which speaks to both its visual appeal and overall condition. Rather than being positioned as a fragile show car, it is framed as a fun, usable classic meant to be driven and enjoyed regularly. Under the hood, the car is powered by a small-block Chevrolet 283 cubic-inch V8, a legendary engine known for its smooth operation, reliability, and period-correct performance. It is paired with a 3-speed manual transmission shifted on the column, delivering an authentic mid-1950s driving experience that many enthusiasts actively seek out. This combination offers a balance of engaging driver involvement and relaxed cruising, making the car enjoyable on both short trips and longer drives. The seller emphasizes that it is very fun to drive, reinforcing that the mechanical setup is sorted and that the car feels as good on the road as it looks parked. Inside, the Bel Air features a very nice interior that complements the exterior color scheme and reinforces its overall presentation as a well-finished classic rather than a rough driver. Comfort has been further enhanced with the addition of air conditioning, a highly desirable upgrade that significantly improves usability in modern driving conditions while still allowing the car to retain its vintage character. New BF Goodrich tires have been installed, contributing to confident road manners, improved ride quality, and visual correctness that matches the era of the car. These details suggest thoughtful ownership and investment aimed at making the car enjoyable, reliable, and comfortable. Overall, this 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air represents a strong blend of timeless styling, proven mechanical components, and practical upgrades that make it suitable for regular enjoyment. The seller is open to trades and invites interested parties to propose what they have, indicating flexibility beyond a straightforward cash sale. Located in Avila, Indiana, this Bel Air stands out as a classic that delivers presence, drivability, and nostalgia in equal measure, offering the next owner a well-loved and attention-grabbing Tri-5 Chevrolet that is ready to be driven, shown, and enjoyed wherever it goes. Number 16. This 1971 Plymouth GTX, offered at $72,000 and located in Clinton Township, Michigan, is presented as a highly desirable and correctly documented muscle car that represents the final and most aggressive years of Plymouth's legendary GTX lineage. The seller describes the car as a real-deal V-code example, reinforcing its authenticity as a factory high-performance model rather than a clone or tribute. With show-quality paint and body, this GTX is positioned as a finished, turnkey muscle car that is equally suited for serious shows or confident road use. The overall presentation emphasizes quality, correctness, and presence, making it clear that this is not a casual build but a carefully assembled and maintained example aimed at discerning enthusiasts. Under the hood sits a 440 cubic inch Chrysler big block equipped with the iconic 6-barrel setup, delivering the visual impact and performance character that define top-tier Mopar muscle. While the engine is noted as non-matching, it remains a correct spec 446-barrel configuration, preserving the spirit and performance expectations of a true GTX. The engine is paired with an automatic transmission, offering a balance between brutal straight-line performance and street-friendly drivability. The seller states that the car runs and drives perfectly, reinforcing that this is not a temperamental or unfinished build, but a mechanically sorted machine that can be driven confidently without hesitation. One of the most significant highlights of this GTX is its super performance axle package, featuring the desirable 4.10-geared Dana rear end, a hallmark of serious factory muscle intent. This drivetrain combination places the car firmly in the upper echelon of early 1970s performance offerings, built for aggressive acceleration and unmistakable road presence. The inclusion of the original fender tag and broadcast sheet further strengthens the car's credibility, providing valuable documentation that collectors prioritize when evaluating authenticity, factory options, and long-term value. These documents confirm the car's original configuration and elevate it beyond visually impressive builds that lack proper historical backing. Overall, this 1971 Plymouth GTX represents a rare opportunity to acquire a properly documented V-code 6-barrel car with exceptional presentation and proven drivability. The seller emphasizes that it is ready to be driven directly to a show, underscoring its reliability, finish quality, and confidence-inspiring condition. Offered at $72,000 or best offer, and located in Clinton Township, Michigan, this GTX stands as a high-level Mopar muscle car that delivers the complete package: aggressive styling, legendary performance hardware, factory documentation, and show-ready condition, making it an outstanding candidate for collectors and enthusiasts seeking one of the most iconic performance cars of the era. Number 17. This 1967 Chevrolet Nova Chevy 2 Pro Street 2-door hardtop, offered at $42,000 and located in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, is presented as a fully built and street-legal high-performance machine that blends aggressive drag-inspired hardware with real-world drivability. The seller positions this Nova as far more than a cosmetic build, emphasizing that it is roadworthy, insured, and capable of being test-driven, a critical distinction in the Pro Street world. With its classic second-generation Nova body wrapped around a heavily upgraded drivetrain and chassis, this car is framed as a serious performance vehicle that still retains the visual impact and attitude of a late 1960s Chevrolet muscle car. At the heart of the build is a freshly built 355 cubic inch V8, producing an estimated 375 horsepower, delivering strong, responsive power well beyond stock specifications. The engine is equipped with Foilie cylinder heads, chrome valve covers, a Weiand aluminum Team G high-rise intake manifold, and a Holley dual-feed double-pumper carburetor, supported by a Holley high-flow electric fuel pump and a Summit Racing fuel cell to ensure consistent fuel delivery under hard acceleration. Ignition duties are handled by a Mallory electronic MSD ignition system, while exhaust gases exit through Hooker competition fender well headers feeding turbo mufflers and a full dual exhaust system. Cooling is addressed with an aluminum radiator and auxiliary electric fan, supporting reliable operation even under demanding conditions. Power is routed through an Ultrabel Turbo 400 automatic transmission, a proven choice for high horsepower street and strip applications, and shifted via a B&M Quicksilver racing floor shifter with reverse lockout for added safety and control. Out back, the car features a fully tubbed rear end with a narrowed Chrysler 8 3/4-inch differential fitted with 4.10 positraction gears and heavy-duty strange axles, providing the strength required to handle aggressive launches. The rear suspension is a full 4-link setup with traction bars and adjustable coilover shocks, allowing for proper tuning of ride height and traction. Weld Draglite alloy wheels are wrapped in new Mickey Thompson tires, reinforcing the car's pro street stance while delivering real grip where it matters most. Inside, the Nova has been completely refreshed with a new interior, including new seats, headliner, carpet, tires, and upholstery, creating a clean and modernized cabin that contrasts nicely with the car's raw exterior performance character. A Bluetooth head unit with amplifier has been installed, adding modern convenience without detracting from the car's purpose-built nature. Additional features such as a steel cowl induction hood enhance both airflow and visual aggression, reinforcing the car's performance-first identity. With far more upgrades than can be reasonably listed, this 1967 Chevrolet Nova stands as a well-sorted, extensively modified Pro Street build that offers big power, serious hardware, and genuine street legality for an enthusiast seeking a turnkey performance classic with no compromises. Number 18. This 1950 Ford Custom Sedan, offered at $38,000 and located in Newberry, Ohio, is presented as a fully built and extensively customized classic that blends traditional custom car styling with modern comfort and drivability. The seller describes the car as rust-free, a critical foundation for any custom build, and highlights that it has been tastefully nosed, decked, and shaved to achieve a clean, streamlined appearance consistent with high-quality post-war customs. With an indicated 18,200 miles and a long list of modifications already completed, this Ford is positioned as a finished vehicle rather than an ongoing project, appealing to buyers who want a distinctive custom that can be driven and enjoyed immediately. Powering the car is a Chevrolet 350 cubic-inch V8 paired with a turbo 350 automatic transmission, a proven and reliable drivetrain combination that offers smooth power delivery and easy serviceability. Power is sent to a strong 9-inch rear end, ensuring durability and confidence under everyday driving conditions. The front suspension has been upgraded with a Fatman front end, improving handling, ride quality, and alignment compared to the original setup. Additional chassis enhancements such as air shocks and a sway bar further support a controlled and comfortable ride, reinforcing that this custom was built with real road use in mind rather than purely for show. Inside, the Ford features a full leather interior that elevates the cabin well beyond its original utilitarian roots. The car is equipped with power brakes and power steering, along with power door locks, trunk release, seats, and windows, bringing a level of convenience more commonly associated with modern vehicles. The trunk is fully upholstered, reflecting the level of detail carried throughout the build. Comfort and usability are further enhanced with tinted windows, a Pioneer stereo system, and a vintage air heating and air conditioning setup, making the car well suited for long drives and varied weather conditions without sacrificing its classic identity. Visually, the car makes a strong statement with a 90 louver hood that adds both aggressive style and functional heat extraction, reinforcing its custom car pedigree. The overall presentation suggests careful planning and execution, with modifications chosen to complement one another rather than overwhelm the original design. The seller is open to considering trades, adding flexibility for potential buyers. Located in Newberry, Ohio, this 1950 Ford Custom stands as a high-quality, rust-free, fully sorted custom sedan that offers classic looks, modern performance, and everyday comfort in a single cohesive package. Number 19. This 1965 Chevrolet Corvette Roadster, offered at $79,500 and located in Merchantville, New Jersey, is presented as an exceptionally rare and highly original one-owner example that has remained with the same owner from new until July of 2025. The seller emphasizes that this Corvette has never been modified, restored, or altered from its factory configuration, positioning it firmly as a true survivor rather than a refurbished or reimagined classic. As a two-top car finished in Nassau blue with a matching blue interior, it represents one of the most iconic and desirable color combinations available in the mid-1960s Corvette lineup. The overall tone of the listing reflects pride of ownership and long-term preservation, underscoring that this car has been carefully maintained rather than repeatedly bought, sold, or reworked over the decades. At the heart of this Corvette is its original, born with L79 327 cubic inch V8 engine, paired with its factory-installed transmission and original rear end, making it a fully matching numbers drivetrain car. The L79 is widely regarded as one of the most desirable small-block Chevrolet engines of the era, known for its strong performance, high-revving nature, and legendary reputation among enthusiasts. The fact that this drivetrain remains intact and original dramatically elevates the car's collector value and authenticity. Rather than being described as merely running, the implication is that the car has been preserved in proper mechanical condition consistent with its originality, appealing to purists who prioritize factory correctness and long-term provenance over modern upgrades or performance modifications. What truly distinguishes this Corvette is the extraordinary level of documentation that accompanies it, offering a clear and traceable history from the day it was first sold. Included are the original sales invoice, the Protecto plate, the owner's manual, and most every registration since new, forming a nearly uninterrupted paper trail that is rarely seen even among high-end Corvettes. This level of documentation provides powerful validation of the car's one-owner status, matching numbers drivetrain, and original configuration, removing uncertainty for collectors and investors alike. Additional photographs and documentation are available, further reinforcing transparency and credibility, and making this car especially appealing to those who value history as much as condition. Overall, this 1965 Chevrolet Corvette represents a blue-chip collector opportunity, combining one-owner provenance, a desirable L79 drivetrain, matching numbers throughout, factory color combination, and extensive original documentation. Its never-modified status sets it apart in a market where many examples have been restored, upgraded, or altered over time. Located in Merchantville, New Jersey, and offered at a level that reflects its rarity and authenticity, this Corvette stands as a benchmark example for serious collectors seeking a true reference-quality mid-year Corvette with unmatched originality, documented history, and enduring long-term value. Number 20. This 1976 Chevrolet Vega hatchback, offered at $1,700 and located in Cavendish, Vermont, is presented as an honest and largely original late 1970s compact project car that still retains many of its factory components and character. The seller clearly positions it as a project rather than a finished driver, but emphasizes that it is far from a stripped shell or parts-only car. It remains an original four-cylinder, automatic-equipped Vega hatchback, a configuration that reflects its everyday commuter roots rather than a heavily altered performance build. With an odometer reading just over 60,000 miles, it represents a relatively low-mileage example for its age, supporting the claim that it has not been heavily used or abused over the decades. Mechanically, the car will start, run, and drive with the assistance of an electric fuel pump, and the seller notes that it was driven to the location where it is currently parked. While it does have a few flat tires at present, this is framed as a storage-related issue rather than a sign of major mechanical failure. All of the glass is reported to be in good condition, an important detail for a Vega, with the only noted issue being slight delamination in the windshield, which is common for cars of this era and age. These points suggest a vehicle that, while needing recommissioning, still retains a functional mechanical baseline rather than requiring a complete mechanical resurrection. From a project and history standpoint, the seller provides unusually detailed background information that adds character and credibility to the car. Originally owned by the Bayer Medical Company out of Connecticut, the Vega was used as a salesman's car and still retains its original CB radio installed during that period, along with the original factory radio. The seller explains that the car was purchased with plans for a small block Chevrolet or LS engine swap, and during that time, the body panels, side glass, and interior were removed to allow for cleaning and preparation. After sitting in a storage bay for several years, the panels were loosely bolted back on so the car could be moved when the property was sold, after which it has unfortunately spent about 2 years sitting outside. Despite this storage history, the seller states that the car remains in very good condition for being nearly 50 years old, a notable claim given the Vega's reputation and typical survival rate. The car is described as complete, with many additional photos available and a willingness to provide specific pictures upon request, reinforcing transparency. Offered at $1,700 or best reasonable offer, this 1976 Chevrolet Vega hatchback represents a budget-friendly entry into classic project ownership, whether as a restoration of an increasingly rare survivor, a nostalgic period-correct cruiser, or a foundation for the V8 or LS swap the seller originally envisioned. Thank you for watching this video featuring 20 cheap classic cars for sale from the marketplace. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Cheap Classic Cars for more great finds. And if you know someone who loves classic cars as much as you do, be sure to share this video with them too. See you in the next one.